Hello, I'm Ryan. From this video and onward, I'll bring you a series of tutorials on how we can make this Unity shooting game. What you see here is the prototype I made in the past. Follow me step by step, and you will be able to make a game like this. Alright, let's begin. The Unity version I am using is 2020.3.2 F1 LTS. In theory, it's fine to use any higher version if you like. As we are going to use shader graph and visual effect, I chose Universal Render Pipeline template to start this project. Of course, you can start with an empty 3D template, and then add URP package later. But it will require some extra settings. So here I start with the URP template. After initializing the new project, I did some cleanup. I created a new scene called Gameplay, then deleted all the URP sample files, except these 4 configuration files in the settings folder. In Package Manager, I also removed unused packages, with only Unity UI and Universal RP left. And since I use VS Code as my IDE, I also keep the Visual Studio Code Editor plugin. Then I changed the window layout to my usual settings. You can also customize your own window layout. It's worth to mention that click this 3-dot button here, we can modify the layout of project window. Default is 2-column layout. But I prefer the 1-column layout, because I can see all the files at once. The last thing is this layout button in the upper right corner. Click it and you can save your custom layout. Alright. We've done all of the preparation. Let's import the asset package we will use in this video. Please download the Unity package file in the link below this video. And then click Assets. Import Package. Custom Package. Navigate to the location of the package you just downloaded. Select the file and click Open. Or simply drag the package to the Assets folder in the project window. Most all of these assets are free, which I found in Unity Asset Store. Choose all files and click Import. In the Prefab folder, there is a cool-looking space fighter. This will be our protagonist. Drag it into Hierarchy and rename it Player. This fighter has a set of engine VFX, which I also got from the Asset Store. Drag this space background image into the hierarchy. Rename it Background. Change the projection of main camera to orthographic mode. And then reset the camera Y position to 0. Though our models are 3D, but in fact our game is still 2D. So in Scene Window, let's toggle this 2D button on. We will mainly work in 2D mode in this tutorial. Select this directional light and press Ctrl+D. Now we have a duplicated light object. Let's rename it Directional Light Fill and reset its transform. Change the light intensity to 3. This way the scene seems brighter. And let's modify the color of light. A water blue color gives it more cosmic feeling. Let's sort out our hierarchy. It's a good habit to keep hierarchy tidy and clean. Create a new empty object, name it Environment, and reset its transform. Then create another object as Environment's child, name it Light. Drag these 2 directional light under Light. Similarly, let's drag the background object under Environment. Click play or press Ctrl+P to run the game. The scene is static for now. In case you don't want a full screen playing while testing, you can click the pause button here or press Ctrl+Shift+P to pause the game running. Then turn off Maximize on play. This way it will keep windowed play once resume game running. Next, we are going to make the background scroll. There are many ways to make it happen. The most simple and understandable one is changing the position value of background image. Let's duplicate 2 more background images. Put them together side by side. Like this. Then select all of these duplicate images and drag. Now they all move in the same speed and direction. This requires the background image is seamless. Luckily our space background is seamless. Wonderful! This concept of moving background is the basis of Parallax Background system, which we will learn in future videos. However, for today we will create a much more simple background scroll effect. First, change the resolution of game window. Let's use Full HD 1920x1080. Delete these background objects. Then create 3D object. Quad. Select the space background. At the bottom of Inspector we can see its properties. Now let's modify the scale of quad according this information. Set X to 20.48 and Y to 8.22. This way, the scale of quad is same as the background image. Next, let's create a material for the quad. Under the Material folder we create a new folder, name it Background. And within this folder create a new material and call it Simple Background. The shader of this material is unlit. Texture. Because this shader requires its main texture to be a default type image, so we duplicate this space background. Rename it for easy recognition. Then change this duplicate background image type to default. Apply it. Drag this default type image into the texture slot of our new material. If you need to know which image we are using now, just click the image. Our editor will kindly tell you. Well, now we've finished making this new material. Let's drag it onto the quad. It looks a bit small. Let's modify it. Choose the Scale tool. While clicking this small box in the middle, drag and move your mouse to adjust the scale. This way we can scale each axis of an object in equal proportions. Let's make it to cover the entire camera lens. We don't need to change the Z value. In fact, 2D object has no Z-axis, so you can just ignore it. I don't really like so many decimals, so I only keep 1 decimal place. Okay, that's it. So, how to make the background move? Let's see the material component in the inspector. There is an offset value. Try changing it. The image moves. And because this image is seamless, so it could scroll continuously. Now we know that, if we change the offset value of the material of this quad during game running, we could get the background scroll effect. Then how to implement it? You are right, C# script. Let's rename the quad to Simple Background. And add a new script to it. This script we call it BackgroundScroller. Drag this file to Scripts folder. Double-click or just press Enter key to open it. First of all, we need a reference of the material component. So let's declare a variable of material type. Name it same material but starting with lowercase. Change the start function to awake function. I personally use the awake function to get references of components. The start function I have other usage. Let's get renderer component first, then we can get the material value. Next, we could change the material offset value in the update function. Here we need a new variable to store this offset value. Declare a vector2 variable, name it scroll velocity. We want to expose this variable in the inspector. This way we could modify it easily. So let's add a serialize field attribute before this variable. I don't use public here. It's obviously a private variable, and we don't need other classes to access it. In update function, we get the material's main texture offset. Add this value on scroll velocity multiple time delta time. That's it. Press Ctrl+S to save this script. Go back to Unity and wait for it to compile. Now the scroll velocity variable appears in the inspector. Let's change its x value to 0.5. Then try running our game. Good, the background is scrolling now. But a bit too fast. Pause it and change the x value to 0.2. Resume playing. This scrolling speed looks much better. The background scroller is working well. Turn off the full screen running. You can see that the background shader continuously rotates along the x-axis. And the offset value is also increasing. In the scene window, you can see that we only modified the material value of this quad. But this is good enough to create an illusion of moving forward. By the way, if you need a vertical scroll scene, you could change the y value of scroll velocity. This way the background will move vertically. However, this requires a seamless background image in vertical direction. Alright, let's stop game running. Remember to change the x value of scroll velocity. Variable value changed will not be autosaved during the play mode. 0.2 is still too fast for me, so I set this x value to 0.15. Good job guys! We have finished the simple background scrolling effect. In the next video, we are going to use the new input system and make our protagonist move. Please check it out in my channel. And that's it for this video. Hope you find this helpful. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing to my channel. I'm Ryan. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.